Somewhere in the deserts of Turkey lies a mystery, older than the pyramids and more advanced than we ever imagined. What if everything we've been taught about the beginning of civilization is completely wrong? For decades, we've believed that civilization began around 6,000 years ago, with agriculture, cities, and writing systems in Mesopotamia and Egypt, but deep beneath the dusty hills of southeastern Turkey lies a place that shouldn't exist, a place built not by farmers but by hunter-gatherers. 6,000 years before the Great Pyramid, its massive stone pillars, arranged in celestial alignments, carved with animals that no longer exist, tell a story lost to time. Its name is Göbekli Tepe, and it may hold the key to a forgotten chapter of human history. Nestled in the arid hills of southeastern Turkey near the ancient city of Urfa, Göbekli Tepe was hidden in plain sight for thousands of years. For centuries, locals thought it was just another hill, until German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt made a shocking discovery in 1994. He uncovered massive T-shaped stone pillars, some standing over 16 feet tall and weighing up to 20 tons, arranged in circular enclosures with carvings of animals, symbols, and unknown patterns. The most shocking part? Carbon dating showed the site was built more than 11,000 years ago, at least 6,000 years before Stonehenge or the Great Pyramid of Giza. This completely rewrites human history. Before agriculture, before cities, before writing, someone built a monumental complex with engineering precision and astronomical awareness. Who were they? And how did they do it without tools, metal, or even the wheel? According to mainstream history, humanity in 10,000 BC was still primitive, roaming in small tribes, surviving off wild plants and hunted animals. They had no metal tools, no domesticated animals, no written language, and most importantly, no agriculture. So how did they carve and transport 20-ton stones, organize complex building layouts, and align them with star constellations? Building Göbekli Tepe wasn't just labor, it required planning, communication, and knowledge of astronomy and geometry. This challenges everything we thought we knew. Were these early people far more advanced than we've been taught to believe, or is it possible that they inherited knowledge from a forgotten culture, one that existed before the Great Flood, before recorded history even began? At first glance, Göbekli Tepe may seem like just a ritual site, but many researchers believe it was far more than that. Several of the stone enclosures appear to be astronomically aligned, especially toward constellations like Cygnus and Orion. One of the central pillars may even point to the summer solstice sunrise, and some of the carvings are believed to represent celestial events. But here's where it gets strange. In 2017, a study published in Mediterranean Archaeology and Archaeometry claimed that the vulture, scorpion, and other animal carvings on Pillar 43 might depict the sky as it looked around 10,950 BCE, a date that coincides with the onset of the Younger Dryas, a mysterious global cooling period. Was Göbekli Tepe an ancient observatory or a cosmic warning? A monument carved by survivors who witnessed something catastrophic in the sky. Around 12,900 years ago, Earth was suddenly plunged into a dramatic deep freeze, a mysterious climatic event known as the Younger Dryas. In just a few decades, global temperatures dropped sharply. Glaciers advanced again, megafauna like mammoths and saber-toothed cats vanished. Entire ecosystems collapsed. what caused this? One leading theory suggests that a fragment of a massive comet struck Earth, possibly in North America, triggering widespread fires, atmospheric dust clouds, and global cooling. This theory is known as the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, and it's supported by evidence of microspherules, melted rock, and high concentrations of platinum found in sediments around the world. If true, then Göbekli Tepe may have been built by the survivors of a lost civilization, preserving the memory of a cataclysm through stone, stars, and symbols. It raises a haunting question: did humanity once rise, fall, and forget? But what exactly was the Younger Dryas? Roughly 12,900 years ago, the world was warming up. The last ice age was coming to an end, glaciers were retreating, and ecosystems were recovering. Then something catastrophic happened: temperatures in the northern hemisphere suddenly dropped by up to 10 degrees Celsius in less than a decade. Glaciers began advancing again. Megafauna like mammoths, mastodons, and saber-toothed cats rapidly went extinct. Rainfall patterns collapsed, and ancient human populations were devastated. This 1,200-year period became known as the Younger Dryas, named after a tundra flower that thrived during this cold snap. But the question is, what caused it? For decades, scientists argued over possibilities. Some blamed the disruption of ocean currents, especially the Atlantic meridional, overturning circulation amok due to massive freshwater discharge from melting ice sheets. But in the early 2000s, a new, radical idea emerged: the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis. According to this theory, a fragmenting comet or asteroid struck Earth, possibly over the North American ice sheet, unleashing firestorms, atmospheric soot, and shockwaves. This would explain the sudden temperature drop, mass extinctions, and even the vast black layers of carbon-rich sediment called black mats found across more than 50 archaeological sites in North America, Europe, and the Middle East. More intriguingly, the meltwater pulse from such an impact could have flooded entire regions, disrupting not only climate but early human civilizations. In Göbekli Tepe, some researchers believe the Pillar 43, the so-called vulture stone, depicts this exact cosmic event: a scorpion, vulture, sphere, and other celestial symbols carved into the stone may represent constellations, and a comet in collision course with Earth. The implications are staggering. Was Göbekli Tepe built to commemorate or even warn us of this planetary catastrophe? If so, then the Younger Dryas wasn't just a cold spell. It was the reset button for human civilization. Among all ancient mysteries, few are as baffling as this. Göbekli Tepe wasn't abandoned by time, it was deliberately buried by the very people who built it. Archaeologists have found that the massive stone enclosures were intentionally filled in with thousands of tons of rubble, a mixture of tools, bones, dirt, and debris. But why would anyone go to such great effort to hide something they spent centuries building? There are several theories. Some believe it was a sacred ritual, a ceremonial closing of the site. Others suggest the builders feared something, a second catastrophe, or perhaps even persecution. But the most compelling theory is this: they bury Göbekli Tepe to preserve it, to protect knowledge, to pass down a warning, to leave behind a message carved in stone, waiting for a future civilization to rediscover it, a time capsule from a lost world. For years, Göbekli Tepe was considered a one-of-a-kind anomaly, a prehistoric outlier that defied everything we knew, but in recent decades that has changed. Archaeologists have begun uncovering similar megalithic sites across southeastern Turkey, including Karahan Tepe, Navali Kori, and Taz Tepeler, all dating back to roughly the same period. Some are even older. Karahan Tepe, located just 35 kilometers from Göbekli Tepe, features even more advanced stone carving with human heads, phallic symbols, and underground chambers, and it doesn't stop in Turkey. Across the globe, we see strikingly similar monuments appearing in Peru, Caral Soup, Indonesia, Gunung Padang, Egypt, Sudan, and even the Balkans. Could these be the fingerprints of a forgotten global civilization, a people connected not by borders but by knowledge, and a shared memory of something catastrophic? If so, our history isn't just missing pages, it may be missing entire chapters. We often think of history as a straight line, from primitive tools to skyscrapers, from caves to code, but what if we've been here before? What if, long before Mesopotamia or Egypt, a great civilization once thrived, only to be wiped away by fire, ice, or time, leaving behind nothing but stone, myths, and questions? Göbekli Tepe may not give us all the answers, but it forces us to ask better questions. Who built it? What knowledge did they possess, and why did they bury it so carefully for us to find? Maybe we're not the first advanced humans to walk this earth. Maybe we're just the first to forget. So, the next time you look up at the stars or run your hand across ancient stone, remember this: history doesn't always begin where the textbooks say it does. It begins where we dare to look deeper. If this episode made you question what you thought you knew, subscribe for more hidden histories. And let us know in the comments, do you think a lost civilization once existed before us?